Alright, it's Uncle Joe at Uncle Joe Jeeps. Today we're going to be putting the awning on for Ol Gobi. But first we've got to get our clamps on. There's going to be 3 clamps along with some L brackets. And we're going to get those on. And then Gary's here to help me hoist this thing up, because this thing is going to be like 70 pounds. So yeah, it's got to be a heavy one, but we're going to get after it. So we're getting ready to mount our Overland Vehicle Systems 270 awning. We got to get these brackets on. What we're going to do is we're going to put one here, and we're going to have one in the middle and then one down toward the end. There's a chance I'm going to possibly order another bracket. I've got a 4th one of these. I just need another L bracket. But we'll get these on, and then we'll show you how the L brackets are going to go. This is going to involve anti-seize, and of course that stuff gets everywhere. But we'll get this on here, and then we'll get the L brackets on, and then it's just a matter of hoisting the awning up there, which is going to be some work. That thing's heavy. These are going to go on right about like so. All right, the brackets are on. Now we got to get the L brackets on there. They're going to sit up here on top, so let's see what happens. But yeah, that's basically the way it's going to look down through there. Let me get this one on there, and we'll see if we can get a plane set where we know exactly where everything needs to be. So that's the box for my OVS 270 awning. And there's a problem. This is the clamp I wanted to use. And it's an aluminum from Fourtreks. They're great clamps if you have a round bar style rack like I do. The idea was the Fourtrek would go on and this would go on top. The problem is that produces a lot of leverage. I wanted to test it by just kind of pulling on it to see if anything was going to happen. And at first I was really only concerned about it spinning on the tube, but as it turns out, between these 2 brackets here, that's where it was actually moving. I just couldn't comfortably get enough torque. I probably could have torqued it some more, but not enough to get it to stop completely. And while I was really disappointed in this bracket for doing that, a friend of mine pointed out that that's a lot of leverage, and you have a big heavy steel bracket that you're pulling on. I wanted to pull on it to test it. He said, you're creating a lot of leverage against that point. I ran my old awning straight on these for a couple of years with no issues whatsoever. So the question is, do I want to put the old style awning back on here, just get me a new one, or do I want to try to come up with some way to make this work? And I'm just really not sure. What I wound up doing was getting some U-bolts, and I'm going to go ahead and put a bracket on and test it and see how it goes. All right, let's put these on the back first. So what I've done here is I'm tightening one side then the other. You can see this part, this back one is definitely shifted around, but that's not a big deal. I haven't really torqued these down yet, but I'm trying to keep this somewhat level right here. And by moving it back and forth, I can do that, changing between these 2 obviously. But what I really want to know is it going to pull itself down? And I've got to admit, this is holding a lot better than I thought it would. I really thought I was going to be able to just pull this thing down without any trouble, and that's not the case. I really wasn't satisfied with the brackets with the U-bolts. I did not like the look. It's something I wanted to avoid if at all possible. These brackets are already heavy, and using the U-bolts was going to put the face of the awning further away from the vehicle, which was going to produce more leverage. I didn't like that. I have searched before for tubular brackets for my rack, and Fourtreks, in my opinion, had the best out there. They don't make a bracket specifically for the batwing awnings, which use a much taller mounting surface. And I wasn't sure I was going to find anything, but then I finally found a great set of brackets, and that's what I ended up going with. So it's clearly several days later. Beard's trimmed up. Yeah, I paid for this. Anyway, we got to get these brackets off they got to go. I got some new brackets we're going to put on. These are the GZila awning mount tubular clamps XLs. They're $135 for a pack of 3. And I chose the 2-inch because I have 2-inch diameter tubes on my rack. As you can see, these are much longer or taller, if you will, to accommodate batwing awnings. It has only a single bolt going into the tubular clamp, but as you can see in this picture here, there are 2 little studs that also go into the tubular clamp, and that keeps it from rotating, I guess, perpendicular to the tubular clamp and keeps it from spinning around. So you can get by with 1 bolt there. I think these are going to work very well. They make a much simpler system, if you will. I like the fact that they're going to bring the awning closer into the tube, and it won't be sitting so far out like it would have with the L brackets, which would have just created much more leverage, and I wanted to get away from that. The dog is not happy with my choice of brackets. Rinse and repeat. All right, we got all the brackets on. The nice thing is I don't have to worry about planing them this way. Just had to level them. So they're all level down through there. They're actually good and solid, which is nice. So now we're going to take the awning probably and just set us up a ladder right here. Prop it up there and then run it down and see if we can't line this thing up enough to get it set up there, because it's just me and Gary. So yeah, 2 people and can only do as much as 2 people. All right, our ladder proposition didn't work quite like we thought it was going to. Sorry about the sun in your eyes. But we got it up there for now. What we don't know yet, and what I'm suspecting, is it's going to have to come this way so it can get around the back. We've got it up at the highest point for the brackets, and we still got a bolt down the middle. So yeah, we may have to take the far end bracket and move it in, and that way we can slide everything back. So anyway, we managed to get it up there. We were able to rest it up on this and then just ease it down, so that worked out just fine. So we need all of this to shift back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to take this bracket. These are loose. I'm going to try to slide him down and get him back in here somewhere, and then I can slide the whole awning down. So that's what we're going to try to do now. Oh.
What happened?
Hit my thumb.
How?
I don't know, Gary. Pinched it with the wrench.
Oh, I thought you said you hit it.
Well, same thing. Gary, I'm in too much pain to be technically correct here, okay? Well, it took some hit points, but I think we got it slid back where we want it, because we want to make sure we clear that. But it is on. Anyway, we're gonna have to get some deploy shots, but the important thing, it's on. These brackets look like they're gonna work very well. It's not as high as, you know, lifting over the whole thing, but I don't think I need that anyway. And I like that it's tucked in closer to the body than it would have been with those L brackets. They would have started out here. All right, see what it looks like deployed. All right, this is the OVS, Overland Vehicle Systems 270. I wanted you to see where this last arm would land in conjunction with the back of the awning. If you have a rack like mine, you want to make sure you clear that, and that's something that took some time to find on video. And of course, it just ties out to wherever here on the back. But it works pretty well. It's got good coverage. I didn't bring the legs down. They are recommended, especially if it's going to be windy. I'll probably deploy them most of the time, to be honest with you, but for the purposes of this video, I did not deploy them. But you can get an idea how much coverage you get. We got the final arm out here tied off to the Jeep. They give you this extra little piece here just for that little extra something. There are walls that go with this. I'll probably get at least one set of walls because I'd like to have at least half of it walled off whenever I'm doing camping and stuff like that. Especially thinking about in the field when the sun's coming down, you kind of want to be able to position the Jeep and the awning somewhere where you can block that sun. So anyway, that's it. It's an adventure getting here with all the different brackets. I think I settled on some good brackets from GZila, and I think they're going to work out good. We'll see, you know, if they start to move on me or loosen up. We may have to go back to the U-bolts, I don't know. But for right now, we're going to stick with this. Try it out and see how it goes. If you have any comments or questions, just leave them down below. If you have any advice on this awning, if you've used this awning, you have this awning, let me know. I'd like to know a little bit more about any caveats, if there are any. It seems to be constructed really well. The arms are pretty solid, so yeah, so far I'm satisfied with it, but I got to get that first camping trip in to really know, to really begin to know. So anyway, we'll catch you on the next one.